Libra, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early to mid March 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Libra collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. And guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these beautiful Libras in early to mid-March? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? Yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself, and at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Libra, early to mid-March. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out nice and quick for my good friends. There we go. That card popped out quick. So time. Now, time is a very intriguing topic to me because there's a lot of people that say time is an illusion, but we all experience it in a different way. And when I see it show up here, especially early on in the reading, time could be a very important factor with whatever it is you're going through. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the March subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this. So as you can see, we have this lovely lady in her hood, little hourglass sand coming through the hourglass, slipping through her fingers. And time is something that we could actually tie into a lot of different spiritual topics. And I already spoke about how a lot of people say time is an illusion just because of the way us as human beings perceive it as linear. But there could be real world implications on whatever it is you're going through and how time affects it. Now, sometimes this card will show up simply when someone's just waiting. Like, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see how this goes. This card could be very patient, where it's like biding its time. For some of you, there might be certain things you're experiencing or going through where you might need to give it a little bit of time, right? Now, when I was speaking about how we all experience time in different ways, you ever have some days where time just flies by, some days where it's dragging on and on and on? It does feel something like that for one reason or another. So, for some of you, whether it feels like you're wasting time, whether time is slipping through your fingers, or whether you're making the most of it, that could be another question, like an internal one to really search and think about. So, again, it could just be very simple. Like maybe you just need to give something a little bit of time, or maybe someone's in wait mode. Let's wait and see. But we're just going to let her keep chilling out. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the lovely Libras. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So I really liked it for you last week, and I'm a little biased because I like fiery energy, and as an air sign, you should probably get along with it well too. But the reading was titled An Explosive Breakthrough. Now, usually breakthroughs are very good. Total opposite of what we have going on here with that oracle, right? Breakthrough is action and moving forward and blasting through blockages. This energy here is kind of not doing much. So we're going to see how it plays. And it could be a breakthrough in any different area of life, whether it's like your internal self-development, work, career, point of view, or other people. So just keep your eyes open for that over the coming weeks. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for the lovely Libras, please. What do we got? Quick. Earthy. Very earthy. Super spiritual. We have the Hierophant, position number 1. I don't dislike the card. I normally like an action card in the very beginning, and the Hierophant is not that. Okay, but it doesn't mean it's bad, right? Like there's a lot of good things attached to this card, but it's sometimes be a little clunky. Total opposite of what we saw last week. Okay. What are you manifesting in, my friends? Okay, we got the Magician in position number 2. It's like I feel like I'm in a laboratory. It's like, yeah, watch what I'm cooking up. All right, let's get one more. Okay, cool. All right, so we got the Page of Pentacles. This a common visitor in the air signs this week. So I'm feeling neutral about what I'm seeing here, Libra. So for a lot of you, that might be how you're feeling in general. There's like a certain sense of neutrality. I'm not thrilled, but I'm not miserable with the energy I'm seeing here, just being honest with you. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, there's a lot of earth this week with the Hierophant and the Page of Pentacles. And I always say elements are important because it tells us how the energy is flowing or areas of life that could be important. And when it comes to a lot of earth energy, it could be stability, it could be a sense of security, it could represent your day-to-day life, day-to-day routine, represent money, work, finance. So for a lot of Libras, maybe you're just money, business, mission focused right now. That could be a big thing. Home and family. Earth energy speaks of the material world, the world that we exist in, the things around us. The downside to earth energy, sometimes it could be a little clunky, sometimes it could be a little stuck, sometimes it could be boring or not moving fast enough. So we want to take a very close look at that. In the center, we have the magician. That card doesn't tie to any one element alone because the magician is master of all elements. So we got earth, we got water, we have air, we have fire. And whereas these are the external world, the magician is all about that inner control, inner balance. There's a strong spiritual energy here this week, Libra. So let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, let's start with the Hierophant because that's one of the more complex tarot cards in the whole entire deck. And there's some really great energy to be had. Now, as far as zodiac signs, this card does link to Taurus. So whether you're connected to Taurus, maybe you have Taurus placements yourself, Venus energy, which usually gets along pretty well with Libras. But to me, the Hierophant, let's go through the positives first. It can represent big things like corporations, governments, control systems, control structures. Uh, think of like banks and corporations, stuff like that. Institutions. Think of religions like Catholicism and Judaism. And it's big picture. So this is good for anything spiritual. That's the one thing I really like about the Hierophant. Now, that could be spirit saying like, hey, maybe you need to go inward if you're not already. Maybe there's some sense of spiritual curiosity you have in this time. But the Hierophant can also represent tradition, day-to-day life, routine. This is within the box. This is not a revolutionary energy. It's the way we've done it, and that's the way we've always done it, and that's how we will continue to do it. This is a part of business as usual. It's great for predictability, but at the same time, this card can feel stuck. It could be an energy that feels like it's not making progress. It could be an energy that feels like we're running in a hamster wheel, so to speak, where it's like, okay, what am I doing here? So we want to look at this further. It's great for like marriage and long-term things, long-term commitment. But yeah, when I see the Hierophant, to me, it's like not much changing, and it could be a blockage depending. Now, moving to the middle, we have another very spiritual card as we get this Hierophant tucked right back in. Watch out for boredom with this Hierophant. That's another thing. I was picking that up in a couple other signs this week. It might be energy might feel a little dry or bored. But yeah, in position number two, we have the Magician. Love it. So again, the total inverse of what we have here in the front. The Magician is the strongest card of manifestation in the whole entire deck. So it's very magnetic. It's pulling things to it. It's not actively doing things physically. It's energetically attracting things, which is usually very beautiful. This tells me for a lot of Libras, your power to create and manifest could be extra heightened. We're all creators, but at certain times it's easier than others. So whether it's through prayer, meditation, affirmation, whatever tool you use, your power to attract things in is very high when this card shows up for me. Now, the Magician can also speak about spiritual practice, ritual. So for a lot of you, might be leaning into stuff like that. The big thing with the Magician is control. We all want to control our destination or where we're heading. And that can also get into the downside of the Magician because this energy could sometimes be overly controlling. So watch out for any micromanagers. Watch out for people that are trying to tell you what to do and how to do it. Like this, again, especially with this Hierophant on the front, there's just this authoritative, my way or the highway type of energy. So we'll see what's up with that. Now, moving to the back end, this energy is welcome, but it also feels bashful with the stuff we got going on up here. We have the Page of Pentacles. Now, this could be an earth sign. Obviously, we already spoke about the earth. So, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, if you're not connected to any people with those signs, all pages are students, all pages are messengers. So when I see this, it's like I'm learning new things. I'm taking in new information. This could say it's a great time for that, processing, learning new things, new skills, new work, new business. Pages are really fantastic for that. This one is definitely a messenger, though. So there could be a talk or a message of importance that we do want to look at with this page. Now, the downside to the page is that it could be very shy. It could be very bashful. Could be an energy that wants to do something but decides to not do it at the last second. So, like, against these two authoritative powers, this page is like, maybe I'll wait, maybe I shouldn't. So there's a mixture of stuff happening here, Libra. So I want to dive deeper on all of it. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for my lovely Libras. What's happening? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Hierophant. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Libra, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Hierophant time. Why is the Hierophant here, please? Okay. So we have the Page of Cups in reverse. Yeah, we're going to have to see what's up with this page when we get over there. So this Hierophant is like very standoffish. Okay. So I would say watch out for any individuals where it's like, oh, I feel like I'm forcing myself to talk to this person. Um, Not even just that, though. It's like an energy where it's like, end of discussion. I'm not discussing it anymore. I'm not talking about it anymore. There could be certain individuals that you might be having communication issues with, communication blockages with. When I see the Hierophant with the Page of Cups in reverse, it's like, no, this is not even up for debate. It's not up for discussion. It is what it is, and that's what it is. Now, again, that could show up in a lot of different ways in life, right? But that's just how it intuitively feels to me. Like when I see the Hierophant with that Page of Cups in reverse, it's like, do I even want to open that topic? Do I even want to open this can of worms? Someone doesn't. That's how that feels to me. So we'll see how the energy shifts and changes as we get to the back here. Yeah, the Hierophant with the Page of Cups in reverse, it's either I'm too nervous or shy to approach someone or something. Like, yeah, there's something I want to do, there's something I want to say. There's a second guessing happening here. Or it's that very foot down, end of discussion type of energy. Okay, so I'm not sure if you're carrying that. I'm not sure if someone else is carrying that. We're just going to have to see how it plays as we move through the reading. Um, Again, if this is somebody that's like hard to talk to, or every time you say something there's a misunderstanding, it could be something like that as well, where it's like, why do I even say anything? Like, I might as well just not even say anything because everything I say seems to come out wrong. Let's move over. I'm getting too hyper specific here. Only take what hits for you. But let's see what's up with the Magician. Let's see why the Magician, the Manifester, is here for you. What's coming in? What do we got for Libra? I really want to see what's up with the page. Change. Okay. Your current situation is not your final destination, my good friends. That's something I do want to say. Another thing I want to point out is there's a lot of people showing up in your reading this week. Notice there's no Libra power card. So, again, if you're energetically sensitive, it's like I'm feeling all these things. I'm feeling things from the collective. I'm feeling things from my coworkers, from my family. I'm feeling everyone's energy but mine. So watch for like feeling lost or getting lost in other people's energy. That's very specific. But when I see the Magician with the manifesting, and we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, it's like, no, I need this to happen, and I need it to happen faster. So I think it's good. For a lot of you, it does feel very magnetic too, where it's like, all right, well, you put it out there. We heard your wish. We heard your prayer. Like, here it comes. Here they come. Like, there is this magnetic energy that I'm picking up from the center of the spread, where it's like magnetic pulses and it's pulling things in like a vortex. So I would be cautious with the thoughts in this time. That's one thing I'll say. Like, if there's certain things that you hyper focus or hyper fixate on, or there's certain things that you think about a lot. When I see the Magician with all this energy that seems to be coming your way, spirits like, just be careful what you think about. Like, watch the thoughts. And I'm not saying that every thought you think is going to come to pass, but there's certain things where if like we dwell on it long enough, if we think about it enough, at some point reality is going to reflect that back to us. Okay. Aside from that, it's like, yeah, no, it's coming in. There's this beautiful magnetic energy, and then there is this energy where it's like, yeah, that's not sustainable. Let's switch it up. So a lot of stuff here, Libra. I'm picking up a lot of different things. Again, only take what hits for you. Let's see what's up with the page. Let's see what's up with that Page of Pentacles. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get to the shadow. So why is this Page of Pentacles here? Thank you. Oh, that's so soothing. That's so nice. It's like I finally got to say it. I finally got to talk about it. So, again, something off the chest. So we have the Five of Cups in reverse. underneath this Page of Pentacles. And you know, sometimes when someone just cheers you up, that's how this feels to me. Where someone, they just give me a nice compliment, or they say a really nice thing, or it's like, I'm having a rough day, but you made me feel better. It's given me an energy like that, which I think is really, really nice. So it could be separate from what we have going on here. Now, this is also a very apologetic energy too. So again, like if there's someone where you haven't been seeing eye to eye, or you're not on the same vibration or frequency for whatever reason, when I see this Page of Pentacles with the Five of Cups in reverse, it's like, I am sorry. I apologize. There is like a mending here. Doesn't mean every conversation you have is going to be an apology, but there is an energetic potential for that to happen. Whether these two energies are the same or totally different, it's either cheering me up or trying to make things better. So to me, I do feel like it's a talk of importance, especially since here in the front there was like no energy trying to talk or send a message. Here on the back end, it's like, okay, let's put water under the bridge here. Let's talk about this. So it does feel like an important talk potentially. So yeah, with all the different people and the energies I'm picking up here, you're creating a lot, Libra. You are. And I think a lot of it could be very good for you. But let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. If you kindly look in the box position, number one, we got the Hierophant with the Page of Cups in reverse. Total different vibe from here to there. But yeah, that to me feels like somebody, they're either difficult to speak to. There could be communication issues or blockages, or just someone that, I don't know. There's no willing discussion, where it's like there's nothing to talk about. Like there's no discussion. End of discussion type of energy. So hopefully that's not too harsh for you. This could be someone you're holding back from speaking to as well. But moving to the center, we have the Magician with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, where it's like, yeah, this isn't sustainable. Let's change it up. So there's a manifesting of a change, but I also felt this energy where it's like, just be cautious of what you dwell on, because the magnetism pulls things in. So again, like here it comes, here they come. If you dwell on it enough, reality is going to reflect it back to you. And that's how it feels here in the center. On the back end, we have the Page of Pentacles with the Five of Cups. So again, there's a lot of things coming in, Libra. And even though we saw breakthroughs last week, to me, it's like one thing, then the next, and the next. It's like things are lined up. They're just making their way in. But this seems to be smoothing something over. To me, it's either someone or something cheering me up and making me feel better, or it's like putting water under the bridge, apologizing, or trying to fix something. So it could be an important talk of some kind. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. And yeah, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel. I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this card out. What do we got? What do we got for the beautiful Libras, please? Yeah, there it is again. So that just really doubles down and triples down on some of the themes we've been seeing. We got the Magician showing up again, even in the shadows. So we spoke about all the good things, the manifesting, the magnetism, pulling things in. I think that still plays. That's an energy that you should keep in mind, especially in the short term, where it seems like things are manifesting quicker than they usually do. Now, if we put all the manifesting stuff to the side, when I see the Magician, the shadow side of it, it can be a micromanager. We spoke about that a little earlier. Now, I do believe when manifesting, creating, praying for things, or meditating for things, it's very important to be hyper specific about the details you want. So that could be a little thing from Spirit here, like, all right, Libra, be hyper specific. But then there is also this micromanaging that I'm picking up. So again, I'm not saying it's coming from you, but the Magician is like, no, everything has to be perfect. Before I do this, everything has to be perfect. Everything just has to be right. So it's like a perfectionism that I'm picking up here. I'm not going to say whether that's a good or a bad thing, but it's coming through very, very strong. Where it's like, before I do this, this, and this needs to happen first. So we're just going to put them down right there. Again, watch out for anyone that's overly controlling as well. But yeah, Libra, that's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the March subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight into your situation and you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The March calendar is live and spots go quick, so you could go check that out. But for the March subscriber surprise, we're doing another winner's choice. I will choose 3 subscribers to win either a copy of the Everyday Witches Tarot, beautiful deck, or handmade crystal pendant, which I showcase at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's two simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, what zodiac signs do you get along best with? Which ones are your favorite? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.